The Chiefs just got a double dose of good news after general manager Brett Veach spoke at the NFL Combine. In this video, I'm going to give my thoughts and reactions to what GM Brett Veach said because I'm pretty optimistic about the future of this team. You guys are listening to the KC Sports Report. My name is Michael Darcy. Hit that like button on this video and subscribe to this channel for more of the best daily Chiefs content on YouTube. And with that being said, I wanted to go ahead and get into the first report. Now, this is kind of just confirming what we already thought. Ian Rappaport from NFL Network said that Travis Kelce was up in the air about his future after the Super Bowl, taking some time to consider. Now, Kelce should be back with KC, believing he has plenty left in the tank. And he also quote tweeted a tweet from earlier on in the day where he was basically quoting Chiefs GM Brett Veach, who said that, Travis Kelce's fired up about entering the final year of his contract and playing. We left it as he'd be back, and we're excited to get him back and get him going. So Travis Kelce is going to play out the remainder of his contract. He is going to play for one final season. The last dance. We're going to get to see Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce take the field for another season, kind of as a farewell tour. And this is a bittersweet moment, but I'm super excited to see that Travis Kelce is going to be back on this team. Now, we did get that report from Diana Rossini a couple days ago saying that Travis Kelce was leaning towards coming back, but after Ian Rappaport just, reported it, I've got a pretty good indication that that's going to end up happening. So for all the people saying that Travis Kelce hasn't officially said he's going to come back, he's going to come back. That's what Ian Rappaport said. He's very rarely wrong. Brett Veach is on the train that we discussed that he's going to be back. So no one in that building, no one in the Chiefs organization is under the impression that Travis Kelce is going to retire. They still believe that he has a lot of good football left, and I do think that's an exciting thing. So we're going to get to see Travis Kelce for one more season, and hopefully they can go back and take care of some unfinished business. And Chris Jones even said that on Twitter, like, my dog's got to come back. We got some unfinished business. So I'm super excited to see Travis Kelce play one more season with the Chiefs. And now let's get into the second report, because I think this one is a bigger update and it speaks more towards, the team building aspect, the franchise's goal and mindset going into this draft. Brett Veach said that he believes it's more of a defensive draft this year. He made a point to mention that the defensive line and linebacker groups are deep, which is a pretty big thing because the Chiefs need defense in this draft. They also need offense, but I think that the fact that there are pretty good defensive linemen in this draft, the fact there are linebackers that are going to be available in the second, third, and fourth round, I think that makes the Chiefs feel pretty good about maybe not retaining someone like a Nick Bolton, maybe not retaining someone like a Justin Reed. So the Chiefs are going to be able to go into this draft some defensive players, and hopefully kind of supplement some of that older talent that's going to go get paid this offseason. Now, I do think that it is worth noting that in previous years, Brett Veach will say things at the Combine that might not tell the full story. The Chiefs aren't going to, let other teams know what their needs are. Maybe Brett Veach saying that it's a deep defensive draft class means they're going to go offensive line in the first couple rounds. Maybe they're going to go for a wide receiver or a tight end, because if GMs around the league know that the Chiefs are going for defensive players, then they might try to, out-scout Brett Veach, or they might try to, jump ahead of the Chiefs and select the players that, are on the Chiefs board. So we've seen this happen before where the Chiefs are, eyeing a certain group, eyeing a certain position, and then come draft, they do something completely different. So I would not be surprised if that's what ends up happening, but I do think that Brett Veach has a point. There is going to be a lot of defensive players in this draft that you can get at great value. And the Chiefs need to kind of go, bargain hunting. They've got so many players that are on, very expensive contracts, or their contracts are getting close to expiring. That 2022 draft class doesn't have, very many years left. So finding the next Trent McDuffie, finding the next George Karlaftis is going to be the mission for Brett Veach this offseason and in this draft class specifically. So before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video. But on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about what the Chiefs' needs are in this draft class. This video is sponsored by my friends over at Mosey. Mosey is a wearable and weatherproof thermal wrap, which is guaranteed to keep you warmer than a normal stadium blanket. If you're going to any outside tailgates or parties or any event, you gotta stay warm. And the best way to do that is by getting yourself a Mosey. And right now, if you click the link in my description, you will get 30% off your entire order by using code KCSR at checkout. And fellas, if you want to get your girlfriend or wife the best present ever, go get her a Mosey. It keeps her warm. You'll be able to do more activities outside. And I cannot tell you how many times that Mosey has come in the clutch by keeping the girlfriend warm. So definitely go check out the link in my description. Get 30% off your order by using code KCSR. And once again, thank you to Mosey for sponsoring this video. Thank you to Mosey for sponsoring this video. Now, getting back into the main topic of this video, the Chiefs have a lot of needs, whether it's offensive line, left tackle or right guard, whether it's linebacker, whether it's safety, whether it's wide receiver. They lack some dynamic pass catchers on that offense. They do have Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, but you could always get another one of those guys. So there are a lot of needs for this Chiefs team. The question is, what is the biggest priority? What is something that the Chiefs are going to have to attack and address in the first two, 3 rounds of this draft class? I think offensive line has got to be within the first 2 rounds. You're not going to find great tackles in the third. You got to go first 2 rounds to find a tackle. You got to find either a linebacker or a defensive end piece. Maybe even someone on this offense like a wide receiver or a tight end, because they need to have an insurance plan for when Travis Kelce retires. The Chiefs are very fortunate that he's coming back to play at all next season. It's probably the last time he's ever going to suit up for this team. So they need to have an insurance plan for when he does end up retiring. Now, they did sign, Noah Gray, and they do have, the draft pick from TCU that, ended up getting hurt last season. But I do think that you could go out and spend maybe a more significant investment at that position, but kind of centering it back at the Chiefs' actual needs. Left tackle, linebacker, corner, and defensive end piece. I think if you can get some of those guys in this draft class, assuming that this is a defensive draft, you're going to be able to find a lot of corners in day 3 of the draft. Those 4th, 5th, 6th round draft picks have turned into, very solid pieces for this Chiefs team. But I also think the Chiefs' approach in the draft has got to be take the best player available. Don't reach just because you need a player at this certain position, because that's oftentimes where the Chiefs end up taking the wrong guy. Take the best player available. It's not that difficult. And I think that, if you've got more than one player at a position, I still think that you could get depth. That's one thing that this Chiefs team lacked this year. They didn't have any depth. So if they get depth in the secondary, if they get depth in the linebacking room, they're going to have some options to fill those needs in the draft. But I'm going to be very interested to see which way that Brett Veach decides to go. So Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments section below. What do you think of this news that this is, according to Brett Veach, a defensive-heavy draft? It's a better defensive draft than an offensive draft. Do you think the Chiefs need to draft offense in the first couple rounds, or should they go defense? I want to hear from you guys, and I also want to get your thoughts on Travis Kelce more than likely returning for his final season in the NFL. Chiefs Kingdom, that is all I have for this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more daily Chiefs coverage. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video, and as always, go Chiefs.